Gong Nong Dong Neg Day Gong Ah Sleeping Dogs La. Sleeping Dogs, developed by United Front Games, was released in 2012 for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PC. The game received a highly positive reception, with both critics and players praising its satisfying hand-to-hand combat, arcade-style driving, rich and immersive open world, and strong voice acting. Originally conceived as a standalone IP titled Black Lotus, the game was envisioned as an open-world crime drama. However, the project's publisher, Activision, shifted direction and decided to incorporate it into their True Crime series, True Crime Streets of LA and True Crime New York City, which had previously underperformed commercially, and by 2009, Activision officially rebranded the game as True Crime Hong Kong.
Think it'll break? Never.
Despite these plans, Activision eventually cancelled the project due to internal doubts about its success and fierce competition from established open-world franchises like Grand Theft Auto. This decision forced United Front Games to lay off 120 employees in a desperate effort to stay operational. The future looked kinda grim until Square Enix, led by Square Enix London Studios general manager Lee Singleton, recognized the game's potential. Acquiring the publishing rights, but not the True Crime IP, they revived the project under a new identity, Sleeping Dogs, giving it the second chance it deserved. We play as Wei Shen, a Hong Kong-born cop raised in the US, who returns to Hong Kong to infiltrate the Sun On Yee triad undercover. The story begins with Wei posing as a low-level thug, deliberately getting arrested during a failed drug deal to gain credibility in the criminal underworld. While in jail, Wei reconnects with his childhood friend Jackie Ma, who unknowingly becomes his ticket into the organization. Through Jackie, Wei is introduced to Winston Xu, a mid-level Sun On Yee enforcer, and begins his ascent up the triad ranks. To prove his loyalty, Wei is forced to carry out increasingly brutal missions, drug trafficking, extortion and violent turf wars, all while secretly gathering evidence for the police. However, as Wei sinks deeper into the triad's world, the line between his covered identity and true self starts to blur. Friendships turn deadly, loyalties are tested, and every move risks exposure, or worse, becoming the very monster he's trying to destroy. Sleeping Dogs might not have been the best looking game of its time, but it still holds up visually. Its strength lies in its depiction of Hong Kong. It's gritty, detailed and stylized with a heavy cinematic flair. The city is alive with neon signs, wet streets, glowing city lights, street vendors and crowds of NPCs walking and talking, creating a sense of constant motion and life. Driving around while listening to local radio stations, and accidentally, or not, crashing into other cars, street signs, parking meters or even pedestrians comes with highly entertaining physics and effects. Other than that, there isn't much to say about the graphics. The game simply looks good. The audio design in Sleeping Dogs plays a crucial role in bringing its vibrant Hong Kong setting to life. Even when you start up the game, the main menu greets you with one of 4 different intro songs, each setting the tone for a kick-ass game full of attitude. The soundtrack is excellent, blending licensed music with original compositions, ranging from rock, classic and hip-hop to local Cantonese pop across 10 different in-game radio stations. The voice acting is outstanding, featuring surprise appearances by Academy Award-winning actress Emma Stone and, very fittingly, Tom Wilkinson, one of the main stars of the movie Rush Hour. The performances are strong overall, with a mix of English and Cantonese dialogue adding a natural vibe, especially in NPC street chatter and market scenes. The sound effects are equally impressive. The crunch of melee combat, the screech of tires during high-speed chases, and the dense ambience of the city, honking cars, sizzling street food, and distant conversations all deepens the immersion, like the muffled bass of nightclub music or the echo of footsteps in narrow alleyways enhances the game's cinematic feel. Simply put, Sleeping Dogs sounds exactly how you'd expect it to. Thanks to Square Enix acquiring the publishing rights for Sleeping Dogs, the combat system was completely redefined, drawing heavy inspiration from action films like Tony Jaa's The Protector. The fighting in Sleeping Dogs can best be described as fluid, multi-directional combat in a gloriously violent sandbox. To achieve this, the developers brought in UFC champion George St. Pierre for motion capture, recording brutal punches, devastating kicks, and bone-crushing grapples that look and feel absolutely phenomenal. If you're familiar with the Batman Arkham series, you will instantly recognize that same satisfying rhythm. Every hit has weight, every counter feels impactful, and the entire system is incredibly punchy in the best way possible. And on top of that, you can use almost anything in your environment to keep the fight going seamlessly. If you ever played Def Jam Fight for New York, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Driving in Sleeping Dogs delivers a pure arcade-style satisfaction, channeling that over-the-top Ridge Racer energy. The streets of Hong Kong are your playground, with dozens of vehicles to steal, earn or buy. From mopeds and motorcycles to ordinary cars, high-performance street racers, old trucks and everything in between. Each vehicle handles distinctly, with unique weight, acceleration and handling that makes every ride feel fresh. Whether you're drifting through tight alleyways or plowing through market stalls, the driving stays consistently fun and engaging. Mission-wise, you follow a set storyline, completing jobs for both the Triad and the police. On top of that, there's a ton of side missions and activities to engage with, ranging from surveillance jobs, random favors, street racing, singing karaoke, and even going on dates. You earn XP for everything you do, gaining reputation with both factions. This unlocks points in 2 separate skill trees, allowing you to upgrade different fighting and shooting abilities. You can even learn new martial art combos by finding jade statues hidden throughout the world and returning them to a dojo. In short, Sleeping Dogs is a stupidly fun Hong Kong action game that makes you feel like Sean Yun-Fat in an over-the-top action movie. Think 1986 A Better Tomorrow or 1992's Hard Boiled. And even though there's a lot of cool slow-mo shooting in the game, you'll mostly just want to punch and kick your way to the end because the hand-to-hand combat is just so damn satisfying and violent and fun. Sleeping Dogs is available on PlayStation 3, 4, Xbox 360, One, PC and Mac. Among Nay Wundok Hoisum. Thank you for watching and as always, stay beautiful.